Hello, I look forward to taking you through a quick tour of No2 and the integration with Aprima PRM. We're very excited to review this functionality since it represents feedback from you, the users. You will see today how to reduce time associated with faxing, scanning, and document linking, especially if you're printing any faxes upon receipt or when you're sending patient information to other providers. It all starts with subscribing to No2 and then porting your fax number or numbers to No2. Porting your current fax number to No2 can be done manually or using No2's automated process, and it's similar to switching to a different cell phone carrier. You will simply request the current fax number be switched to No2. I've already logged into No2 as the administrator, which allows me to configure No2. One of the first things you will need to do is to port a fax number. There is a manual request process that you initiate by contacting No2 support using the chat bubble in the lower right-hand corner. Or you can use the automated form that is available by clicking on the Port Fax Number box in the upper right-hand corner, and you can complete the online form. The next step is deciding the intake rules for the fax numbers. Notice you select the settings gear again, and then Intake Rules. There's already a rule for Dr. Smith, a referral source for your office. This is set up so a single user receives the incoming faxes from Dr. Smith's office fax number. There's also a rule for Dr. Jones, another referral source for your office, and those faxes are received from a different fax number, and in this case, sent to a different person in your organization. On the other hand, the Mercy Hospital intake rules shows their fax number, and both of the users receive those faxes to be worked on a first-come, first-served basis, because Mercy Hospital's daily volume is quite variable. You decide what works best for you when setting up your rules, and you can change them at any time. Here we are, back at the intake of No2, similar to an email inbox, but this is a secure, encrypted experience that is integrated with Aprima. You'll see that all of the faxes that have been routed to you, the user, are based on the intake rules that were defined, and these are all of the unprocessed faxes. How will you know if you have a new fax? You can log in periodically if you're receiving a high volume of faxes, or you can set up a couple of notification methods. If you would like to receive an email each time you receive a new document, you can set up your user profile to send you emails, and you can use the No2 desktop plugin to provide you an alert right on the screen, similar to many email systems that alert you with each new email. In either case, there's no PHI exposed, just a link that will bring the user to the new document. You can choose the method that works best for each user based upon their preferences. Whether you open the fax from the intake section of No2 or from a notification you receive, the first page is previewed in the viewer of No2, and we can review the thumbnails in the fax and find our patient information. Here we see our patient, Emma Smith. So we look her up in Aprima using No2. And I'll look by date of birth since Smith will likely return a number of results. I select Emma Smith, and notice there's also an option to link a document to a specific visit, which is what this lab result is for. I can result this order in Aprima also by selecting the order within No2. I can also select the reviewer that needs to see this document and mark it as urgent. You can also change the file name that will appear in Aprima by clicking on the Edit button of the file name and renaming it accordingly. Lastly, I indicate this is a lab result so it's correctly labeled within Aprima. To download the documents in the fax to the chart for Emma Smith, you select Download to EMR and you are done. That's how fast you can intake and upload a document to a person's chart. No printing, no scanning, no document linking, almost no time at all. When a fax contains more than one document for the same or different patients, likely you and your staff are printing out faxes and spreading them out on desktops so you can separate the individual documents before scanning them into a patient's chart, or you're using some electronic tool like Adobe Professional. It's very time-consuming. No2 has a triage feature that simplifies this workflow. You can delete pages prior to saving, and you can separate the individual pages into separate document groups by one or more patients. So much more efficient and more secure because the paper documents are not laying around or being forwarded in email within the office. I'm going to hand controls to John now, and he's going to show us where the lab results are for Emma. John?
Thank you, Dane. I'm logged into Aprima as Dr. Patterson, and notice that the lab results we received in No2 now appear not only in Emma's chart, but because we selected a reviewer of the document prior to uploading, the lab result appears as a new message for me. Because we further added the urgent flag, it catches my eye as something that I need to address right away. I should note that because we also associated the incoming fax with an open order in Aprima, at the time it was uploaded to Aprima, it also resulted that open order. I can now click the message and see the attachment, review it, and indicate it is approved, which will clear the message. In the case where I want to send the results to Emma's primary care provider or specialist, here I select the recipient provider and indicate the reason for the record disclosure. I simply type in a reason or subject line, the message I'd like the recipient to review, and click the fax button to submit. Simple and easy. No more paper faxes and no more manually linking a document to a patient's chart. Just tell your Aprima representative you want to sign up for No2, and you can say no to faxing the old way and start saving money and time today.